Welcome to the Four Corners series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, and we're picking up on the 27th of January 1912. The game is on pause for a reason which I'll explain in a little while. Now, this video is actually going to consist of two parts. The first part, I just want to talk about the year 1912 in relation to Russian history, because it is quite a significant year for reasons which I'll explain. And of course, the second part, we'll just get on with some gameplay. But before that, as usual, a big thank you for your comments and feedback. You guys give me so much to think about. Now, one comment I did get was somebody asked me whether I knew about and used the construction office assignment tool. And I do know about it, but I have to admit I'm still kind of getting the feeling for it. And my most common use for it so far was in my divided series, because I find this is very useful for allocating the helicopter construction offices, because you're often working at long range, a long way from where the construction offices are, and that tends to be the main reason I use it. But when I'm working on a single settlement like this, I kind of find it a bit awkward to use, and I also prefer to micromanage my construction offices at this point in the game. So that out of the way, I'm now going to move on to talk a little bit about 1912. Now, I'm aware that some of you may not be interested in this, so there will be a timestamp in the video for anyone who wants to jump forward into the actual gameplay. Now, 1912 is a very interesting year in European history. Now, for most people, if you say what happened in 1912, they will say, oh, the Titanic sank. And it actually sank on the 15th of April 1912, and that is the event that dominates the year from most people's perspective, especially people in the UK and what you would call the western side of Europe. But from Russian perspective, 1912 is a very significant year for reasons which I'll explain. But just to give you a bit of background, in 1912, Europe was very much a continent of empires. You had the British Empire, which sat out on the west. You had the French, and then in the center you had the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and of course out in the east you had the Russian Empire, which was, I think they were the fourth largest economy in the world. So this idea of Russia being a poor, backward country is slightly kind of misrepresented in the context of European history at this time. The other element I haven't mentioned so far is Germany. Germany at the time was effectively in the turmoil after unification and increasingly becoming a major power, and they were aligned with the Austro-Hungarian Empire. And it's also worth noting that at this time you actually had three cousins who effectively controlled world politics. And that is, you had King George V in the United Kingdom, you had Kaiser William II in the newly emerging German Empire, and of course you had Nicholas II in Russia. So in some ways you had a family dynasty coming from Victoria that controlled most of European politics, excluding the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Now, what actually did happen in 1912, and these were the first and second Balkan Wars. Now, it's probably worth mentioning that up until 1912, 1913, most of what is now called the Balkan countries was actually controlled by the Ottoman Empire, which was effectively based in Baghdad, and it was an empire that came up, and they literally buffered against the Austro-Hungarian Empire and Russia. And of course, in the middle of that, you had a country that most people are familiar with today, which is Serbia. And Serbia had their own ambitions of unifying the Slavonic peoples in the Balkans. Now, Serbia was a very small country on the great scale of European politics at the time, but they were being guaranteed by Russia. At the time, the Austro-Hungarian Empire and the Russian Empire had very similar ambitions, which focused very much on the Balkans. That is, they both wanted a major naval seaport on the Mediterranean. Now, the Russians did have the ports on the Black Sea, but one of the problems with that, and it's still prevalent even today, was the fact that any warship leaving the Black Sea had to pass through the Bosphorus, effectively through Turkish waters, and everyone knew where the fleet was going. So a ship couldn't put out to sea, or a submarine in modern terms now couldn't get out to sea without everybody knowing about it. So even today, Russia still has that ambition to have a warm water port on the Mediterranean. And of course, the Austro-Hungarian Empire had a similar situation, that they were very much a landlocked empire, except for ports on the Black Sea, although they did have a couple of minor ports at the top of the Adriatic. So in some ways, this growing tension, which effectively resulted in the what was called the First Balkan War, when the Ottomans tried to defend their territories, and what actually happened is that the Ottoman Empire lost, and they were driven out, and that laid the foundation and created some of the countries which we now recognise as the Balkan states in Eastern Europe. But more importantly, from the perspective of the going forward and what's coming up in 1914, this created the flashpoint between the Austro-Hungarian Empire and Russia that would eventually lead to the First World War. So 1912, 1913, from the perspective of Russia and the Austro-Hungarian Empire, was the precursor to the First World War. And it's a very interesting period in history with the different tensions, especially when you compare it against the what goes on in the modern world. It's also a nice aside in the fact that at this time the British regarded the two major threats to their empire were Germany, obviously, because there was the Battle of the Dreadnoughts, but also the British kind of casted their eye across the Atlantic to America as a growing power. So at this period of time, the British Empire wasn't particularly that happy about what was going across the other side of the Atlantic, although in some ways the First World War solved that problem. Anyway, I think I've gone on long enough. Let's just get down to some gameplay. Why is the game on pause? Well, if any of you have been following the series, and especially the chat, you'll be aware that there's been a general discussion about creating factory connections. And I'm just going to unpause now and just let this run. Getting the workers up here by wagon to actually work on these factory connections is a bit of a problem. So what I actually did is I deliberately ran down this jobs here to try and get a few things done. So what I'd like to do now is I'd like to get we're going to just assign you out to this one, because I'd like to try and get this factory connection built as well. You need a bit of gravel as well, so we're going to assign you in as well and get that factory connection done. That wasn't the total reason why I actually paused the game. The other reason is I wanted to show you this, because we've now got the new Hope horse feed converter here, and what I'm going to do is put some workers into here. And what you see in here was we got a pile of food and crops and wood, and what's happening now is you can see these guys are starting to produce the plastic, steel, mechanical components, electrical components, electronics. You can see it's going to go through this crops and wood quite quickly. In fact, I just realized something. Sorry, don't think you guys are on this, so we're going to get you to deliver wood there. Now this is a little bit of an experiment, because what I want to do is get them in here. The other thing I haven't got in here is fabric either. Now I want to actually manufacture my fabric, but I think at the moment we're going to get a little covered wagon here, and we're going to bring up some fabric. So we're just going to come in here, covered hole, I'll just get you there, and we're just going to import some fabric from here. I would really like to create my first wagon. Sorry, brain is fading a little bit. I'm recording this at very early in the morning, actually. In fact, it's just gone 5 in the morning. So what we're going to do is bring up the fabric here, and I want to set up, one thing I do want straight away is an open hole. And what you can see, if you look on the bottom section of this menu, I don't know if you can actually read it, it says it takes 45 days of workers to manufacture it. It needs 0.69 of steel and 0.032 plastic, 0.005 fabric, 0.057 mechanical components, and 0.009 electro components. So the amount of resources needed are quite small, but what you actually see is that what this does is it produces a little bit more than that. And what you can see here is why you need the factory connection, because you can't actually pick up from here. I don't know if I can find one. Well, I need an open hole, so let me just come in here. I'm just going to buy an open hole, because I am a bit short on open holes. If we take this open hole, and if say I try to assign directly to it, what you see, you can see it won't let you assign here. So that factory connection is very important with respect to actually doing anything. You can't assign this. Distribution offices are the same. If I come in here and we come here, you can see you can't assign it. So while this is a factory, you can't take goods out or put goods into this. You've got to, it has to be attached to this building. Interestingly, what you can do is actually take these goods out of it here. And what I really want to do is see whether I can, how much of this we get, and more importantly, how quickly this builds up. That's what we're looking for. Anyway, we're just going to get there. I've finished the athletics club here. I'm just going to reduce the, oops, no, leave it at 3. Now, next I want to talk about, while that's actually kind of trundling away, is roads, because somebody actually posted a comment who did an early start, said that they noticed that when wagons travelled on gravelled roads, they didn't seem to lose speed in winter, and that's something I want to test. The other thing I also want to do is possibly get the gravel road coming out here, and that's the reason why I've started to build this, but this is very painfully slow. I've got a feeling I may need to get some workers in here to help the matters out very much. Whoops. Got a couple of horse drawn. Yeah. Oh, and I know there's a problem with the route here, thank you. But it will be fixed. We're building another distribution office here because I actually filled these distribution offices up. As you can see here, we've got that there. We've got 2.6 tons of fabric. And I don't think we actually need that much, do we? We only need 0.5. So what we're going to do is just do the one delivery. So I'm going to keep an eye on him. And once he's delivered the fabric, we're sending him here because we're going to need some more covered holes in here. In fact, I'm building the wrong vehicle. We haven't actually started yet, so cancel that. Yeah, I'm going to build a covered hole. We need covered holes for our harvesting series. What are you there? What are you? Actually, you can go to there. Where are you? Don't know what you were actually. We got another one here. Also do all that medium fill. I think these guys are just stuck because I changed everything. But we want to gather you up in here anyway. It looks like I may only have to need to build 2 covered holes, and you can join your brothers in there as well. So we've now got that running. No engineers or workers, so what we can do is just we're gonna need 10 workers in here, so you're gonna have to need a build no engineers or workers. So what we'll do is get in here and see how we can build a covered hole. So we got a little bit of fabric, and this is what I was interested in finding out, is whether production will stop. So we got 2.39 tons of steel. We got mechanical components, electrical components, because we don't have much storage in here. Now this comes back to a discussion I had about when people were saying, "Oh, you've got to be a bit, you know, you shouldn't be taking stuff out of here." I still feel that electrical components and electronic components is something that I could take out, possibly steel if it fills up. So let me just see. So we're actually building that up a little bit there. I do wonder whether we could steal that thing. Anyway, we're just going to let that little cupboard hole build up there. Now the next thing I want to do is, we are starting to fill up our accommodation here, so one thing I do need to do is something I actually meant to do a little while ago, and that is I want to start by building this house here for a reason which I will explain in a little while. See how slow this road is? Well, it's getting there, but I don't really want to allocate a workforce. I think I've kind of talked all around this for some time now. I want to keep a little check on that. So we've got plenty of food there. Now, the next thing I want to plan for this village is we've got to make some money, because we're down to 650,000 rubles. Now that seems a lot, but as we expand outwards, it's gonna disappear very quickly. So what we need to do now is get this village on some kind of economic foundation, plus at the same time possibly make us a little bit more independent, because I think import wise we don't import very often. In fact, okay, we do have clothes in here, don't we? Yeah. Because what I want to do is close. In fact, what's happened now is what I was actually hoping for. I'm going to pause the game so I can concentrate on it. What we will do is assign you that as well. I'm not sure. Well, you need gravel and concrete actually, so I should have used the... I'll just get you there. What I would really like to do is get this built. Yeah, this is nearly finished. So actually, we'll just finish that off first, because what will happen is that we'll get a... Right, so we've now got the connection for wood. So what I need to do now is find the... Who is delivering wood? There's a little vehicle running around here. I can't remember. That delivers to the smokehouse. That delivers to the bakehouse. So I don't actually have anyone assigned to the wood anymore here. Okay, that's good. Now the other thing I can't remember. Oh, I didn't assign anything here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use this. Fine, construction office. And we'll just get that underway as well, because what I want is this distribution office to actually manage this area here. Right, distractions over. Let's just get down to here. And what I want to do is make some money. And of course, if any of you follow my series, you'll be aware that my preferred way of making money is alcohol. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing. This is factory. Gonna make some vodka. Because I mean, what would be remote Russia without vodka? That's the way to do it. And what I want to do is to put in the microbrewery there. We're not going to make vast quantities, but I don't know, maybe we'll just push it back a little bit here, like that. And then I want to put in a store, and I still want to stick with these stone ones. That's the wrong side, isn't it? Actually, that's stone left. So say for argument's sake I put this here. I want to kind of curve it round a little bit. Say for argument's sake I put it about there. I think the road comes out this way, doesn't it? Yep, okay, good. We've got a store here. And then what I want is a factory again. And I want a fabric factory. And I want to kind of bring the fabric factory down here. I want to keep like that, and then have a small clothing factory next to it, and then storage again. And let me just see. Got a village storehouse here that can hold 15 tons of clothes. I think that would be big enough, isn't it? And then we can put a small store on the end here, like that. So the way you can look at it is we've got our microbrewery here. We got our crop storage here, which is going to feed the microbrewery. This small fabric factory, just double check. I put the right one on, haven't I? Come here. And that's going to turn crops into fabric, and then we're going to get the fabric into the small clothing factory here. We're going to make some clothing, and so our exports are going to be the alcohol and the clothing. Now what I want, we're just going to use the mud road here, and now I'm going to come off about there. And just kind of bring a road through about here. Ah, okay, I forgot all about this footpath. Okay, we're gonna have to take this footpath out. I'm hoping that I can get mud road, which is coming from that way. Oh, it's gonna work. Okay, and we're gonna have to put a footpath back in, but we'll just do it with mud footpaths for the moment. So we've now got there. We're just gonna let the game run, and the idea is we're gonna have a road there, and then these workers here will have access to here. Now there will be a possible issue with pollution, but if I keep this industry quite small, we should be okay. What are you doing? You're kind of delivering here. In fact, I think I would like to do is actually let's split this up a little bit. You're the fabric factory, so you don't really need a gravel road, not at the moment anyway. We're gonna come here and we're gonna run all the way through to there and there. That. And I think we'll just build these two at one at a time here. We may need some more here. How's our? I mean, well, actually, we're not doing too bad here, actually. Considering, I mean, that's pretty efficient in its own way. So we nearly produced our first truck. So I keep looking at this to see how much has been manufactured. Of course, you've got to remember to look here. We've still got that electronics there. We've got 1.83 tons of steel. Kind of part of me says, could we still... See, you buy the electronics from there. We don't have a shortage of electronics at the moment. We've got 4.31 tons of here. Right. Wow. That should effectively fill that up, actually. I think we'll produce one more. Actually, we'll see if we can sell one, actually, make a bit of money. Right, we got this working up here. We're building there. We're building this here. This road here will finish eventually. And I suppose in some ways that, because this is all kind of trundling through quite nicely, and if we build this through here, this would be quite a good through road to here. And I am thinking about possibly graveling out here, but it's going to cause a bit of a disruption to my gravel supply here. Now, I suppose while we're doing this, because I've effectively run out of things to do, no engineers, yeah. Although, to be honest, that is something that we can work on over time. Yeah, this is going to take a very long time. He's nearly there. Just have a little bit of a check-see up here. Actually, let me just queue up an open hole behind that. I don't want a kind of continuous stuff. So we're now starting to harvest, and we're getting a few workers in here as well. And you can see we've got our first over 21 now, and I do want to use that. In fact, I think while this is doing its stuff, we're going to come over here. I'm kind of a bit reluctant. In fact, I think I put these roads in here, but I think we're going to stick with mud roads at the moment, not footpath roads, because I'm kind of just going to come out about that far, and we're going to come down here. I'm kind of looking at this, and because we got the gravel here, I don't know if I can level this gravel through. It might, it's going to say no free bulldozer. We don't have a bulldozer for leveling. Now, what I'm thinking is village out here. What's the... Not exactly flat. But at the same time, I don't want this to be the main road. So I don't want this to be the centre of the village. So actually, let's just push this out a little bit further. Like that. And maybe if we put a kind of crossroads here. Because that is the... What I'd like to do now is start planning our village here. I think someone suggested a shop. And I can't remember what it was now. I think they suggested it was using the old food corner shop here. This is a corner shop. I think there's a better one. A corner market, isn't it? This is the one here. Where did it go? Why does it annoys me with this game? Sometimes it will... Corner market V2. This will service about 200 visitors. So I think in some ways I think I'd like to have it say like that, where we can put it about there. We're gonna have a bit of a problem here. I just love this game sometimes. I think we could be a bit too far away. Well, it's a bit... Wow. I don't think the parking is very good here. And we've got lots and lots of open halls and cranes and things here. Right, I think we're going to need to build this, aren't we, before we can expand out that way. Although, I think what we might do is I need a pioneer construction office. We're going to... I need construction office V3. Actually, what we could do is... Yeah, we're just going to put a construction office out here. Put the guys in the band, you know, work guys. And there's a chance this could burn down. You just need boards, so oops. And of course we got this little bit of road here. I did build this bit of road as an experiment for constructing gravel roads. That's why I knew this was going to take a long time, but I think at the moment we can just kind of keep an eye on things going here. We've got things coming here. Do we have any problems? I think overall we don't have that much in the way of problems, do we? Let's get back to here. We've got another little covered hole, but I don't think I've got any space to put it anywhere. Yes, I have. I can just slip it into there. Actually, no, we're going to put it down. Actually, just thought, can we? Could sell it. We could get 539 rubles for it. So we could go into the business of selling covered holes. This trend, I'm kind of reluctant to do that. I think I might, because I might want to use it as a backup for the harvest. I think at the moment we're just going to bring it over here. What else have we got in here? We got another open hole over here as well, haven't we? Okay. I don't think I can. I'd like to build this as well, because this is going to be the big construction office that's going to drive things going out that way. Right, see, I'm a bit stuck now with respect to we need to build this little thing out here, and we're going to need a bulldozer. Actually, is there such a thing as a bulldozer? Let's have a look. I can't remember if there was a bulldozer. Yes, there is a bulldozer. Horse-drawn bulldozer. Is that more I wonder if that's more efficient than the excavator. Is there any slots here? have a look at this. Right, we're going to pull an open. We're going to choose one of the open holes from here. We're going to send you back to here. And do I have a template for a bulldozer? No, I don't. Oops. I actually keep looking at the wrong place. Bulldozer, yeah. So what we're going to do is just add use to the list. We're going to make a bulldozer. I'm just wondering whether if I put a bulldozer into here, it might, one, it might speed these roads up a little bit. And two, it might, yeah, we'll see how, actually, what's the stats? We should be able to see the stats, shouldn't we? Although it's difficult to tell because they're probably very similar. This is speed level 3. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot in it, to be honest. Right, so we're just going to build this up. And once we built the road, I'll do what I did last time. I'll kind of budget this a little bit with respect to rebuilding the footpaths here. Although, truthfully, with this here, getting the workers down to the mill here won't be a problem. How are we doing for crops? We're on the 28th of March at the moment. We've got 89 tons in there, 92 tons in there. I think we're going to be okay because I'm not exporting. I think at the moment I'm exporting nothing. Oh no, we're exporting some food and a little bit of food and a little bit of boards. I think I'll put the boards in just to try and make a little bit of cash. We are actually making a small profit. I think if we can get the alcohol and what we call it, the clothes going. Say this building here, I know I keep coming back to it and I apologize. I don't really want to export electronics and mechanical components. This is not going to be made for money, but there's part of me that says that we got, maybe, can I balance this a little bit? Can I reduce that down a little bit? Because let me just see how this goes. So we have a very small amount of plastic, so if I say drop that down, that will increase the electronics. What's the electronics? Yeah, what's it? Electronics is absolutely minute. So again, if we drop that down, say to 0.53, and that can go to 0.35. But we're going to have to try and balance this. Mechanical components. So in some ways you can make an argument for... so again, we've got 3.97 tons for fabric. Probably drop that down to there as well. 4.42. So you could make the case for actually the mechanical components from here if you can produce them. Wow, this guy doesn't hang around. I'm really looking forward to when the next update drops so you can switch this off and on. Just cancel current production, cancel all production. They put a check mark in that says produce this and then stop. What we got over here? I really would like this to be built, please, game. We got some workers in here. I mean, this is nearly finished. This building without power supply. That's a little bit of a cause for concern. Let me just see. I think it's probably fluctuated. Yeah, it's the wind speed. So we're going to have to start thinking about a formal power supply at the moment. But then in 1912, power would have been fairly irregular. I suppose, I don't know what's the storage here. Finished vehicle, so we only get space for one finished vehicle, so we're gonna have to pull you, open the hole, and bring you down to here. I mean, we're on the 7th of April, and we've only got, in some ways, we've actually sown all the fields, and the fields are growing. That's good. Actually, what have we got in the way of here? We've got, I think that will work. I don't think I need to put anything else there. Just need to keep an eye on our sunshine. I mean, he's getting there. How's the workforce? We really need to get this built so that our town will build outwards. I think what we'll do is once we've finished the horse-drawn bulldozer, we're actually notify me when this is finished. I don't know. Well, we'll just keep that there so you can keep an eye on it. And what are we doing out here? Yeah, I think what we're going to have to do is catch up, finish this area, and then see how things go. I think we will just assign you. This will be, oops, kind of swung the orientation round. Bong. Okay. We've finished this one. What are you guys on now? I think what we're going to do is we're not going to... What's this road here? Oh, of course, he's on auto assign, so we can get this built through. So it'd be great to get this built up here, and we can get this in. Then we can start connecting up the roads here. I think the warehouse will need a gravel road. The microbrewery will need a gravel road. And the storehouse will need a gravel road, but the clothing factory probably can just have a mud road. And of course, we'll bring a footpath down here and here to get the workers into this area here. Oops, cancel all production. Yes, thank you. And we're just gonna. Yeah, I don't want this to be going, and you can go there. Let that run. And what we'll do temporarily is just shut all the workers down here, and we'll just let this build up. Because of course, the other thing we've got to be careful of is the food production. So how are we doing here? We got 1.51 tons of electronics. Yeah, missing resource crops as well. Kind of starting to think that, well, actually, well, I'm reluctant to switch this, but I am wondering whether I actually need a separate distribution office here for crops. Well, we got this here. Okay. Time for a rethink. Really want to put the oil wagon there. What else have you got in here? You've got mechanical components and crops. You've got a covered hole here. You can come here, and you off of here. We cancel the mechanical and electrical components here, and you're not going to deliver to there. have a look here. And then what we'll do is and didn't need to move him, did I? How many cupboard holes have I got in here? Yeah, we put another cupboard hole in here alongside the dumper. What's the dumper delivering? Oh yeah, you're bringing the gravel up to here. We get the dumper here. Your job is going to be to pick up, load, not close, electronics and mechanical components and deliver them to there. Just get that there. Right, you're just going up to here. What I need to be, I'm just going to increase this 13 tons. I want you to unload that steel. Okay, I'm just going to reduce you back to 10. And then you're going to go to there. And what we need is the brick guy. I'll just let you. Now I want the open hole to here. Okay, let me just. You're going to buy steel and bricks, and you're going to deliver to there. And your job is to keep it 90% full. Just let this guy do a delivery. And then we'll snag him. You can go there. And your job is going to be to go. Oh, it says it's full. Okay. How come you? Oh, it's only 4 in here. That's it. Yeah. I think 4 should be enough. And that means we won't have the trucks running backwards and forwards just covering steel at the moment. I want to make sure that I've got all the rated vehicles. Make sure you're working to the distro office. Yeah, working to the distro office. Yeah, just check. Yep. We've now got that sorted. We've got this house being built. We've got a little bit of stuff going on that way. The one thing I do want is another battery connection finished there. I forgot all about him. Probably do another dumper, couldn't we? So let me just open up this again. I'm going to come here and we're going to choose a dumper. And we'll just get a few workers in there. Don't know if we've got the resources for it. Turn that off. Yeah, I think we've got the resources for it. We just need the engine. Look at that! Wow. Percentage. So we'll just put that there. We got that going. These guys have got nothing to do with the excavator. Now, let's see if that excavator's in range. I doubt it very much, but I'll try anything once. Shop. What's it? Corner market B2, isn't it? Open import. Okay. Where was I? I was going that way, wasn't I? No. Ah. No, we need to get the... It says excavator now. Ah. Yeah, we're going to need this built so that I can do the necessary leveling up here. Anyway, we got this going good here. See how long it takes to build these gravel roads. Okay, so let me see. Yeah, we got the bricks coming in here, which should speed up this process. We need another 6 tons of bricks here. So these guys will keep at it. I think we'll be okay. Hopefully, if we can get this connection built. Right, this is coming together quite nicely. Once we've done that, we can sort out the livestock truck here and the log distribution here, so that we don't have trucks running backwards and forwards picking up non-existent livestock. So we can get that done, and it can be brought to here. Got a little bit of meat. How is the population going? I mean, generally the population is happy. We're certainly not going to give them a pub. That's a dead cert. So we're kind of putting this together. Probably once things... I don't know if I can make a... Let me just see if I can make a mud road from... No, it's not going to come that way. So we'd have to kind of put a loop up through here, wouldn't we? Because I'd like to build that little bit there. Yeah, I should have paid a bit more attention to building the roads through here. Not here. Okay. Nearly finished the dumper. I mean, I know I could produce vehicles to make money, but at the moment I'm reasonably happy. We're kind of in balance is probably the polite way of saying, but of course as steel comes along, that is going to become a bit of a bigger issue. Now I have got my eye on this building here. I think I might be able to get one of these in here, but then do I need it? What are we doing here? We've got 32/21, so at this rate we may need to get into a bit of a housing building plan here. Go on guys, you can do it. You can do it. I wonder where my over 21s actually are. Just put that down. Interesting that we've got 13 over 21s in here trying to get an advanced education. I think I mean, we got 59 people being educated. I mean, 59 out of a workforce of 357, I think is okay. I think what I'll most likely do, because I do want to make this village a little bit bigger, because we're gonna... I can't remember where the oil is. I think I've just finished the... And then, okay, let me just get back here. Hey, where are you? Yeah, let me just cancel that production. I'll just turn the workforce off again. And we made you for here, didn't we? We're just going to come there. We're just going to let this build up a little bit. How's the... I mean, we do need to empty some of these. Oh, I've also got this. Oh, big mistake. Big mistake. I intended to build this, didn't I? For the next harvest season. What jobs have you got? You've got tiny construction office, new Hopewood distribution. I mean, they're all past this thing, so we're gonna have to try and sneak that on. Yeah, there's a bit of a fail there. Right, so these guys have parked up because we got a full nice big pile of bricks and steel here, so that's good. Yeah, in your own time, guys, in your own time. We've got 6 days left on this. I think if I can get this up and running, because of course we're going to get another, whatever it is, 100 tons here, 136 tons here. Now I am thinking possibly another farm up here, which will be fully automated. We won't have any workforce. The only problem is there's going to be the potential for fire, but that's going to have to be something that we're going to need to think about. Yeah, stop production, stop production. Do we need to pull that together, that together? How are we doing over here? Yeah, we're going to have to force the issue out here as well with respect to workers. In fact, I wouldn't mind we got a little bit of space here. Maybe when this road is finished, we could put a bus station in here. But something a little bit more substantial than this. I'd like a bus station with like 2 pickups. We can have a look at that while we're waiting. Where is it? Platform station. So I don't want a massive one. And what I didn't really like this because it kept telling me that it was consuming electricity. That's got 4 stops. It's a retro type. Let's have a look. 1,000 passengers. You got here. This is a trolley bus stop. We could put, sneak that in there with a little bit of steel. In fact, we could probably put it in somewhere like that, couldn't we? I've thought a bit more about this before. Actually, let's go back to the normal bus stop. I know technically it's going to have asphalt in it, but I think what I might do is just put in the normal bog standard bus stop there. If we put that in, can't put it there, but I could get it in just about there. For example, like that. And then we could come down like that. And we could come out like that. Something like that. Now, obviously, we're not going to be bringing the... Oops, might have messed this up a bit. No, we can. We can connect you up there. We're going to need this. It's going to be a bit of a dog's dinner, isn't it? But so we're going to have a fairly modern-looking bus stop here, but I don't think I've got much choice about that. I don't want to go that, and I don't want anything that's flashing telling me I've got electricity problems. So we've now got a connection to the microbrewery. People get there. Let's just have a look. Yeah, people will be able to walk through here, and then once we've done the bus stop connections, that will work as well. I think that will work there. We can fill in this area here. Right, so we've now got some workforce in here. Just make sure everyone can get to it. We got a couple of over 21s here. What we'll do is just push you down there a bit, like that. Yeah, we're gonna have to try and drive our population a little bit now. We got a little bit of capacity now. We've got a population, working population 701. So I think so. We've another 300. So there's 300 there. What I do want to do is this house here. I was kind of looking at it, and what we're going to do is I'm going to move you out. We're going to do a bit of urban redevelopment here. Oops, thank you, game. And then we're going to zap you. This is the modern world coming. And what I'd like to do is put another, maybe not a big one, but well, what I'd like to do is put in a small, maybe a small, slightly smaller one here. Residential. This is 60 workers. Just can we get that in on this point here? Hey, maybe we can put a 5-story in. Yeah, we can. Put you there. I don't want to grab road, I want to grab a footpath. Sneak in. Or really, maybe a bit of an odd way to go, but I'll take it. And of course, don't. Can this guy detect footpaths? Not, that's the heating plant. What am I on about? He won't detect footpaths, will he? Yeah, but I think these are so short that we're going to have to assign these guys to it. Otherwise they won't get built. Oops, no. Doesn't exist. So we're just going to sneak in a little couple of connections there. Right, we've now got this done. I'm aware time is pushing on. I need to find... Okay, where are you? Rated vehicles. You. It's there. Now, I think you're associated with this, isn't it? Log store. There is a truck here delivering stuff. Where are you? Oh, are you picking up from here? Let me just see. All related vehicles. Yeah. Workhouse. Your job is to go there. And I think what I wouldn't mind is, this is where I built another open hole. Send you up to here. Right, you're in here. You're going to pick up there and there. You're going to load there and there. Oops, not unload. And then you're going to deliver to there. And you can deliver cattle to there. Yeah. To pick up from the well, we got this should get built, so we're going to take a chance with that. And you're going to pick up a log store and you're going to deliver to there. Okay, both there. Now there is another truck that comes to here. Need to find as well. Where are you? Open hole. Okay. And you can go to. You can go there as well. And your job is going to be to go to the bakehouse. Logs. And you're going to keep this full as well. And you're going to go up to here as well. So what we should have up here is 3 open holes, keeping this full of logs and this full of logs. I mean, the amount of storage there is not that big. And we need some asphalt delivered here. So why are you guys not delivering asphalt? I have a problem with my asphalt. Get a lot of store and export. You're okay. So in theory now we are all set, ready for the next harvest cycle. We've got workers in there. We've got this has been built because of course in the odd mentality of this game, getting this footpath built here is more important than doing anything else. We've only building these roads in here is pretty good. And then what we can do is start putting this area together. We've got this here. You need concrete. I'm really messing this up actually. Let's put you all on. I need that built. In fact, I should have used this way. Keep forgetting this is the other option. Is that finished? Wow, it is. Okay. I'm going to take you off of auto because I don't want you contributing anything to here. Right. And what we're going to do is take come in here, and we're going to pick you up and send you out to here. And that means that this guy can go back to here because that was a total disaster. And what we need, we've got a bulldozer. What we need now is an excavator, isn't it? So didn't I buy an excavator? Okay. Excavator. Horse-drawn excavator. Okay. Oops. And what we'll do is just put the workforce back to work. We should have the resources. Yeah. See, plastics is maxed out now. Now that is an issue because I suppose what I could do is just dump the plastics, I suppose. Well, we'll see how it goes. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the way it is. We can sort it out. That's the best thing I can think of. And we're just going to build an excavator and send that out to here. I think the other thing I also want out here is a Ujimi do flicker gas station. Let me see. Gas station. We need a horse feeding station. And of course, to keep all this going, we're going to need a power plant. So we're going to need to put in a windmill here as well. So I'm just going to put that there. If we're going to be working out here, we're going to need a little bit of power to run the gas station, because this won't run without power. And also we're well, that's where so that's going to be our future objective. I've just realized that I've got a bit carried away and I'm going way over time on this video, so this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. In the next part we will carry on doing what we're doing, and hopefully that now, once we've built the excavator, we'll be able to start planning our new village. So until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.